shake, Jamie. Like this. Boom. Like that. Boom. Just taught him that fast. Welcome, Jamie. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now we're going to continue with the show of the conference. So we're about to get into a great fireside conversation, panel discussion. Now I heard Jamie say a few times about their journey, why their journey is important. We're going to have some seasoned farmers come on up here and talk about their journey from the beginning. So we're going to take about 30 seconds to transition to them. So all my panels, please come on over to the left, right? Just a few reminders. If you need to use the bathroom is straight on out. They got those very expensive farm porta potties. Okay? Right on out there. Also, we got the farmers market right on there, out there. We got some ladies out there. Look, they're going to show you some things, selling some things. We're going to have a great time, all right? We can continue the show. All right? Where are my seasoned farmers? Where are they at? I'm going to call you up here. Now, as I call you in, you're coming up here and you're going to cheer them up. DJ Breeze, we're going to do this like the NBA playoffs or something. You ready for me? All right. Coming up to the panel, ladies and gentlemen, please show some love. Representing Scott Farms, Chester Boy! Yes! Next up, representing the First State of African Americans Farmers Association, show some love for Andrea Aritos! Andrea, what you doing? Oh, there's a switch. They switch. Come on, where's she at? Come on up here, Miss Quinn. Yep, they switch it up. They switch it up. Come on up here. President of the Black Farmers Association. I'm sorry. Look, she told me to change, but yeah. Come on this way. Yes, ma'am. Clap it up for her. Next up, representing the Hispanic Chamber, show some love for Ronaldo Zeno! Ronaldo, where you at, Ronaldo? Okay, all right. Excuse me. All right. Just like the NBA, quick substitution. Coming up, representing the Lobby Indian Tribe of Delaware, show some love for Chief Dennis Coker! Representing the Georgia Korean Farmers Association, please show some love for James Lee! James, where you at, James? James Lee. Is he in the expensive porta potties? All right, we're going to keep the show moving. Please show some love for our moderators who are going to be moderating this session. Show some love for Miss Amber Fitch. Represent Delaware State University Manners Chapter. Also, once again comes to the stage, Miss Kayla Barani. Hello. All right. We're going to have a great panel and let go. Tester. Can we get everybody test your mic? I got you. Check. Everybody else is on? All right. Testing.
So, good morning once again, everybody. I'm very pleased to be on the stage with such renowned Black, Indigenous, and farmers of color. So I just want to go ahead and introduce myself again. My name is Kayla Marani Alawi, a junior at Delaware State University, majoring in pre-veterinary science, and I am the Manners president. So, Amber?
Greetings, everyone. My name is Amber Fitch. I'm currently a junior, and I serve as the Manners Vice President. I'm a pre-veterinary science major, minoring in chemistry and business management.
Cool. So do everyone want to go ahead and introduce themselves personally? I know they did it already, but if you want to go ahead and put, a little introduction in there real quick.
Yes, I'm Dennis Coker. I'm Principal Chief of the Lenape Indian Tribe of Delaware, and I'm here representing the first farmers of the first state.
Hello everyone, I'm Gwen Pierce. I'm president of the First State African American Farmers Association, and I'm thrilled to be here and to see all of you here. I wish most of my other fellow farmers were seated together. Some of us are here, but I can't see them, don't see them, but if you would stand so that you could, I appreciate it, so you can see some of us here. There may be some over in another tent. Can you stand, please? And members of our association.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Chester Scott Jr. I'm the owner and operator of Scott Farms Family Incorporated. I get my high school, Wake Forest High School FA involved next year in this event. It's a good event.
Okay, wonderful. So we're going to go ahead and start with the questions after they introduce themselves. So can you each share a journey in agriculture focusing on what initially inspired you to pursue this path, and how have you maintained your passion over the years? Anyone can go first.
I'll speak to that real quickly. And thank you for inviting me here to this event, the second annual BIPOC Farmers Convention. And I am not a current farmer, but I come from a long, long line of farmers. And so I'm a regenerative kind of guy. So I truly believe that the goal in farming today is to regenerate our farming practices. And it's, I've been inspired by all of my family. Everybody in my community had a big garden. Every year they would burn off last year's leftovers, the dead plants. They would always take the ashes out of their wood stoves and spread them in their garden as a practice. So, what really got me involved with advocating for farming as just one of the areas that I pay a lot of attention to, especially the environmental arena, is that we really need to focus on growing healthy food. It's just we cannot grow healthy food when we don't have healthy soils. It's just a no-brainer for me. A couple of weeks ago, I was invited to view a documentary called Common Ground. I'm sure many of you are aware of that, and that was transformational for me to a great extent. So, I could probably talk for a couple of days on some of these topics. I'm interested to hearing what some of our other panelists has to say.
As far as my background in farming, my grandparents owned a farm in Maryland, and I spent all my summers there. My grandfather pretty much was a crop farmer, but he did not have a tractor. He did it with horse and hand implements until his grandson used to farm his land. I think he had like 60 acres at the time. And next door, his son, my uncle, had a dairy farm. And my cousins were there, so when my mother went down to take care of her mother, that's how I happened to grow up on the farm during the summers and sort of developed a love for the land. And then, growing up in Wilmington, Delaware, I married a farmer from outside of Delaware. He was in suburban, but they raised chickens and grew vegetables, and they sold the chickens, and that's how they survived, supplementing that income, which a lot of black farmers had to do. So we ended up in Townsend, Delaware, 5 acres of land, and we started, he raised rabbits, quail, and goats, got into goats. But also just growing our own vegetables, I can tell you, it changes how you think about what you eat when you taste something that you've grown from scratch, and it tastes so much better than what you get in the store. And it's important when you can't find the vegetables that you want to eat, and you can grow your own. So I hope from this conference you learn that no matter where you are, even students, if you have a room, a window, just get a small pot of dirt at our table in the tent. One of our members brought some seeds and did seedling bags. Start to grow your own. So I challenge you to develop a love for what you eat and growing from the land.
Being born and raised on the farm, for me, was a way of life. In the morning, you get up, do your chores, go to school. You leave school, come back, go back to work. Practice football, baseball, back to work. After a while, you learn to enjoy it because that's what you have to do every day. You get to see your family grow food for yourself, for your family, and for your neighborhood. I would love to see more young people get involved in the farm work. It's a hard life. It's a long day. It's a real good life. When you buy into it and work for a long period of time, you really get to enjoy it.
Thank you, everybody, for the responses for the first question. We're going to move on to the second question. What challenges have you faced as a BIPOC farmer, and what strategies did you employ to overcome them?
Finances. Financing a farm takes a lot of money. You have to be a biologist, a mechanic, use your hands, build stuff, repair stuff, manage your money, be a bookkeeper, run irrigation, work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You got to go to church on Sunday. You have to provide and manage your time in a proper way. In my community, there's a lot of farmers on my road, so we all work together using different pieces of equipment. Somebody may have a big piece of equipment, I may have a small piece of equipment. We borrow and we trade back and forth. We help each other farm. So being an innovator and use your mind, know how to improvise and to work together can really make a farm be successful.
For me, our challenge is, one of the goals of our tribal community is to build a community-supported agriculture project. And access to land is our challenge. We have plenty of land around us, but it's not ours. It's not something that we can call ours, that we can make an investment into. So that has been a major challenge for us. We've actually been gifted a couple of pieces of land, but they've all been brownfields sites, and they're no good for us to do farming and growing food that people can eat. One property that we were gifted, we could never ever drill a well on, so we have no access to water. So once we can get over that hurdle, we could possibly engage with our community-supported agriculture project, which I believe would be would be well supported within our community and the larger community at large. It's just, that is our struggle. You know, it's amazing that the Lenape, who had free access to this whole peninsula prior to contact, are now restricted to owning 5 acres of land that's a Brownsfield site that's so contaminated that all we can do is think about regeneration. So we're engaged with removing invasive species, planting native species. We're building an edible forest garden, edible for all of our relations, the four-legged, the winged. So we're trying to make do with the best that we have, but conquering that access for arable land that is suitable for farming is our greatest challenge.
In my opinion, as the two gentlemen have stated, resources and land and equipment is one of the challenges, or two of the challenges that I think it affects farming. And I have to admit, for our farm, we were fortunate enough to take advantage of a USDA program under NRCS for fencing for our goats, and as well as water, put in water, so it decreased the labor involved tremendously. But speaking for our Association of Black Farmers, it's a challenge just to have access to the funds to buy equipment, as well as to maintain the lane that you have, to make it profitable, and certainly looking for additional land is really a challenge because it's less and less of it available to us. But you know, I would challenge the students to take advantage of learning in your science classes, because I'm hopeful that, you know, as Chief talked about some of the brown fields that we have and some of the contaminated land, the soil health information that we're learning through the USDA is beneficial, but it's more to be done. I think there's more technical assistance that I can see that the farmers could benefit from. So we're dependent on all of you to help us to maintain and sustain and grow our farms.
Thank you all for answering that. It seems like there's a common denominator here. So with my next question, you can kind of base your question that we just asked on this. What cultural practices, traditions, and values have helped shape your farming approach? And I know some of you work together with, you know, your neighbors, and your tribe has certain practices that they use to keep a more sustainable agriculture practice. But what has been passed down to you all, or something you've learned that is more so a cultural or traditional religious thing that helped you, you know, with your farming practice?
I will begin that. For us, honoring the sacredness of our relationship with the land is of paramount importance to us. A couple of best practices, I'll say, are to take what you need and be thankful for everything you take. A second one, when we think about that relationship with the land, is to, you know, honor that soil health, those relatives that are in that soil, those microbes, those fungi, and all of those little guys that are the key to that healthy soil. And as been stated, that is not an easy task when we're beginning with soil that has been sterilized. You can't just, wish that it was healthy. You've got to work very hard to make it viable for growing healthy foods. And it's easy to grow a plant that looks healthy, but to grow a plant that is nutrient dense is the challenge. So, that burning off of our fields in the spring is something that all of our community members, our elders had done for eons. The use of fire was one of our major tools. So, I just think that, just being in touch with that land and getting to know getting to know that land from an intimate perspective, I think is key to being successful as a farmer in today's climate.
Tomorrow's always a better day. It may be a bad day tomorrow, but if you hang in there, put your time in, it'll be a better day. For example, in Delaware, it has rained in 39 days on the trunk of the crops in. We got to make decisions whether to run irrigation, put in a cover crop, or wait for the rain. The other day, I finished 4 tenths of rain came, if we plant our cover crops, turn irrigation on, get it going, we set for the winter. You cannot give up. You got to go hard for 6 days, 7-day rest, go to church, come back Monday morning, start over again. Good years, bad years. Put money away, make money, lose money. Have open mind. Be prepared to work hard.
I don't really have anything more to add to that. They basically mentioned the importance of land, water, and working hard. But it is worth it.
Okay, this is going to be our last question. So what is your message to the future generations of BIPOC farmers?
Well, my message would be, I have great respect for our youth today. They seem to really get it with all that has happened, all that they have grown up with all of the contamination that exists in our environment. The water's polluted, the air is polluted, the soils are sterilized. We certainly have to be committed in order to make these changes that are necessary to engage in these occupations that are very difficult. It is no easy chore to get up every morning, to tend to that land. If you have livestock, you have just chores that are, just constantly at the, on your list of things to do, your to-do list. And that commitment, I think, is of utmost importance because it will dictate whether you're going to be successful or not. This is not a 5-day-a-week job, being a farmer. And it's 24/7 when you're engaged in growing food and livestock. And all of the technology that you can learn about, those tools are there to help you. We really know what the answers to all of these questions are. I worked my career as a superintendent for a major construction firm, and we spread a lot of topsoil on the edges of the road. Even then, I could not spread topsoil on the edges of a road that didn't have at least 2% organic matter in that topsoil. Even the state knows that organics in topsoil are important. 2% is probably a very, very low percentage. We're shooting for 9, 10, 11% to give that soil an opportunity to regenerate over a number of years. This doesn't happen overnight. So, you know, I would leave it at that at this time.
Young people, be prepared to use your hand, your mind, and your back. And your genius. That drone, all this technology, is not going to do everything for you. You got to get down to dirty. Dirty. Get dirty every day. Like the man said, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, turn over and go back and fight and do it again.